Struggle for Nigeria is victory. Isoleto. Africa.
The Movement Against Corruption, MAC, said that it is prepared to stop all forms of corrupt practices and abuse of power in both public and private sectors in the country. The group declared that Nigerians had suffered greatly from corruption, and it is time to give corruption a red card. Chairman of MAC, Dr. Okei Odumakin, spoke at a media parlay as activists gathered in Lagos to fight against corrupt practices affecting the economy. She said that Nigerians would no longer ignore the prevailing mass poverty, hunger, and unemployment, decayed medical and educational systems due to corrupt practices.
MAC is a movement that is out to sensitize Nigerians, educate them on the need for them to own the fight against corruption, because this corruption has affected them terribly in terms of education, Medicare, infrastructure, job. Most of the money that should have been used to make Nigeria great has been siphoned. We must stop agonizing. Now is the time for us to organize. There is strength in unity. We must be united in the fight against corruption. And we also want to say that anyone that keeps silence in the face of corruption is culpable. And so I'm using this occasion to call on everybody, because movement against corruption is a movement of over 50 civil society groups and leaders. We must take the lead. We must all galvanize all that we have in order for us to make Nigeria great. I want to encourage each and everyone. I don't want us to give up on Nigeria. Nigeria has a lot of resources. Most of these resources have been wasted. Let us come together. Let us be united. Let us fight corruption and confront this monster that has become so cancerous.
Late MKO Abiola's daughter, Dr. Hafsat Abiola Costello, a human and civil rights campaigner, regretted that corruption had made Nigeria poor.
To be part of this historic meeting, this historic commitment to fight corruption in Nigeria. It has been said many a time, but it bears repeating, that we either kill corruption or corruption will kill Nigeria. Nigeria is not a poor country. Nigerian people are not poor. They have been made poor by corruption. Our money has been stolen. And unless and until we can end that crime, that mass theft of billions of naira, hundreds of billions of naira, Nigerian people will continue to die unnecessarily when they look for medical care. Our children will continue to languish on the streets and not in school.
The game of life, you win some, you lose some. And like rightly said, some of us who have been fortunate to humbly be part of the contributing forces that backed this democracy, there's an element of regret. The element of regret is that the process was hijacked right at bat from the true and genuine committed people who really love the nation and its people. You see, when the political class who had the money bag now came in, they just discovered that the best way to continue to govern and rule a people, even against their wish, is to first pauperize them. Not only pauperize them, deny them access to good education, deny them access to good healthcare services, deny them access to good things of life, so that their humanity will be taken away from them and they look down on themselves. That is why you see the various office holders, you ask some question even about the budget, your tax, the resources belonging to all of us who are used to generate, they will tell you keep quiet there. You know, to them, they are doing you a favor. They are no longer your employee. They are your God that you must worship. So every other time you talk, they look at you as if you are an interloper and all the rest of them. By the way, then secondly, you see, the issue of corruption, like I said, is a battle that is winnable if everybody is committed to winning the war against corruption. Some people will continue to mount the issue of fighting corruption because the shoe is on the other foot. That is just the reality. If all of us are committed to fighting corruption, we fight it from even timekeeping. You set a meeting for 12 o'clock. and you never come until 1 o'clock. You know that you have wasted 1 hour. You have stolen 1 hour from somebody. 1 hour from somebody. That is corruption. You are talking of employment. You have a quota system in Nigeria, but you put your own siblings, your relations, and all the rest of them in the office. Even when they are qualified, they are not the only one that is qualified. That is corruption. So it's not about even packing money, because you say we've dovetailed the battle against corruption to people stealing money. If you steal employment, you steal people's opportunity. You stealing more than money. You stealing a generational property.
Meanwhile, Dr. Joe Okei Odumakin has words for President Muhammadu Buhari now that he's back from his UK medical trip.
Now it's for the president to walk the talk. The president should also realize that it's over 2.5 years that this government came to power. Our people want their sufferings to end. The president must also strengthen institutions that fight corruption. And the president must please do all he can to end terror. My heart bleeds every day when I see that life has become shortish, hellish, and brutish. Day in, day out, a lot of lives have been lost as a result of terror. We must confront this monster called terror. We must bring terror to an end, and we must also ensure that the president do all he can. There are reports of people who are on suspension. The president should tell Nigerians in clear terms, and the red card that we have issued to corruption is what the president should issue: red card to corruption, red card to terror, and also help the citizens in making sure that all our infrastructures that are decaying are put in the proper state.
Now to the issue of the president coming back, I say welcome, and we wish him well. But the point is this: those managing the president, even before he fell ill, those managing the president. I saw a young Femi Adesina talking to Nigerian people as if they are his slave. You know, I saw the other woman say on Twitter, that one himself, he said, look, everything is wrong with the media handler, including the Minister for Information. He lies as if lying is going out of fashion. Yes, and those are the points, those are the issues that we must be able to work if we are truly fighting corruption. That, look, the Bible said judgment must first come from the house of faith itself. That means God will even start judging from his own servants. Now that the president is back, hail and healthy, let him start waving the big stick right from his own house. We have the issue of Babachiri. We have the issue of so many other people, even with them. By the time he crushes those people closer to him, it sends signal to any idiot outside there that this man won't take it to. If he can do this to his close person, don't go and mess up. But today everybody is dancing around. Except then, secondly, this process, let the people take possession of the battle against corruption. You understand? And that is about the only way. But my brother, the educational system, the health services system, is it the transportation system, everything is in crisis. Let's look at it first. You fight corruption, you talk of corruption when you are alive. If people cannot feed, people cannot live, people cannot go to school, people cannot go to the hospital and get health services. You think those people can fight corruption? They can't fight anything because they are dehumanized already. You know, somebody who cannot afford 1 square meal, if you weigh 500 naira before him, just 500 naira, you've bought him over. And he has lost it. So if we are genuinely committed to fighting corruption, we must look at the way of life of the. You see, wherever you have material or economic downturn, there will be moral downturn. There will be moral downturn. It's definite. You know, if you think a man is a man of integrity, don't dare him with hunger. A hungry man is what? Is an angry man. So we must look at it. It's not these cosmetics. We want to flood the market with rice, but there is no bag. Can you imagine? And a man who has not eaten since yesterday, you say, "Oh God, take 500 now. Just look the other way." You don't need to tell him to look the other way. When you give him, he first rush away. Something is amiss. We are in crisis. Basically, that is justice, my brother. And you know, it's funny. These generations now, what do we have? Old activists. All of us are aged and old. The newer one now, just okay. They are not coming to fight for anything. I just pray God will deliver Nigeria and the generation after us.
Movement Against Corruption, MAC, is made up of over 50 human rights groups with a promise to ensure corruption is brought to its knees.
Struggle for Nigeria is victory. Isoleto. E Africa.